All right, let's check out some of the basic features of Leto. So here in front of me, I've got a boilerplate project that I've built for a Node.js native extension, which again is a combination of C++ and JavaScript, but all this Leto stuff is language agnostic, so you don't need to worry about that. So the way to think about configuring Leto is the same way you'd think about telling a friend or someone else how to do the work that you're trying to automate. So you need to give them a series of steps or a procedure that they can follow to actually do the work. And if we look at this project, we can see that the string myExtension is kind of littered around everywhere. And having built the project, I can tell you that that represents the project name. And if I was going to do this by hand and spawn a project from it by hand, I would first copy all the files into place and then run search replace on all the files for the string myExtension and change it to whatever the new project name was going to be. Similarly, I'd see myExtension with a lowercase m here, and that kind of represents the script name. And that shows up in source around. So I'd do search replace on all the files and file paths and file names and change myExtension with a lowercase m to whatever the new script name was going to be. So just for the sake of demonstration, let's say that that's all we want to do to take this boilerplate and spawn a new project out of it, which is kind of reasonable in this case, actually. So the first thing we need to do is go into the command line and navigate to the project directory. So let's do that. And then we can do Leto init. This is going to create a blank configuration file in our project directory. And this is going to hold all of the information that turns our boilerplate or older project into a template. So JSON 5 is a JSON compatible format that lets us do things like have comments and trailing commas. And it's generally just more fault tolerant and easier to read and write than straight up JSON, but it's still a very easy to use format in code. Okay, so let's fill this out a little bit. Basic node extension, and I already have this on GitHub, so let me put some information there. Okay, and then the heart of this configuration file is the procedure. So this is the actual series of steps that Leto is going to take to turn your boilerplate project into a new project. And on each step, Leto can perform a different action, and there's a whole bunch of different action types that are available to you. For instance, there's a move action to batch move files. There's an execute action to execute scripts. A change action allows you to modify files in place. Template allows you to generate files from templates. And there's more, but there's one in particular that's perfect for the task at hand called replace. And this does a global search replace on all files and folders, files, file paths, and file contents. And that's exactly what we need. So we can we can put an optional title here, search, replace all the things. Great. And a replace step requires that we fill out a keywords block. So let's do that. And the keywords block is going to allow us, it's going to basically associate a project string with some variable that we're going to create now. So let's make a variable called the project name. And in the project, that's represented by the string myExtension. And we have the script name, and that is myExtension with lowercase m. Great. So that's actually all we need to do to set up this kind of basic template. So one-step procedure, it's going to do a replace, and then it's going to do search replace on those two keywords. So we've just created a template. Let's try to use it. In the interest of setting up a clean command line syntax, Leto has the concept of a holster. The holster is a collection of templates that are armed for use, and basically this is kind of a way to unify the command line syntax between remote templates and local ones. But that's more information than you need right now. All you need to know is that we need to take our template that we just built and arm it into the holster. So let's do that. Leto arm, and we need to give it a name for the holster. And let's just say ext, because that's nice and short for convenient use. So now we can show the contents of our holster. There you go, ext, it's a local template, and there's some other stuff there. And great, we're ready to go. Let's try to use it. Let's make a test directory, go into it, and spawn a new project. So Leto spawn ext. Oh, sorry for my mouse. So Leto spawn ext. So we're going to spawn a node extension, and let's make the project name for this node extension test project. And the script name is test script name. Okay. And there we go. We just created a new a whole bunch of new files, and here's the actual stuff here. And you can see it testproject.cpp is full of, properly search replaced text, and the whole new project is ready to go. And if I was actually to, try to jump into dev here, this is a working project, and NoJip is a tool that's just associated with the project that that the template is, not the Leto, but we can see that it's a building, compiling, active project after templatization. Cool. So anytime we wanted to start a new node extension, we could use the project that's armed in our holster and spawn projects ad nauseum. And we never have to do bring up work ever again for this project configuration. So let's try and share our template with some other people and, share the love. So all we have to do is go to the main project directory and say Leto publish remote. There we go. It's going to crawl the template and tell us what's in it and give us some advice about the registry. And we're ready to go. Here we go. Template's in there. Basic node extension. And this page is auto-generated. And we get, a nice view of our procedure and boxes that we can fill out. So registry test and registry script. Okay. All we have to do is press this button, and we're given Leto spawn, the remote's URL, and then this content hash, which allows Leto to communicate the server and ask for the contents that we've filled out here. So there we go. Let's copy this string. Let's actually make a second test directory. Okay, and then now we can copy this string down into the prompt. And Leto will go on GitHub, clone down the repository, and then do the templating from there. So there you go. That's a kind of basic demonstration of a lot of the highlight features of Leto and a replace step. And hopefully you'll dive in further and check out some of the more detailed tutorial videos. Thanks for watching.